Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Mr. Cruz here. So today we're going to be starting a video where we discuss the domain of a function. There's a standard there at the top, and there's actually going to be, this will be part one of a two-part series, where again we get to describe and learn about the domain of a function. So there are three boxes and there's an extension at the end, so keep a lookout for that. So for box one, we're actually going to be going over this problem here. So the cost of producing DVDs is given by the function c of x equals 2500 plus 1.25. So for box one, we're going to find the cost of producing x equals 10 DVDs. So the first step is we're going to write c of x equals 2500 plus 1.25x. And they already know, or we know, that x equals 10, so all we have to do is plug in the value into this function. So I'll do that now. So the cost of producing 10 DVDs is equal to 2500 plus 1.25 times 10. So I'll write that here. So we have 2500 plus 12.50. So now C of 10 equals, or the cost of producing 10 DVDs is 2,512.50. And remember, we're talking about cost. So it's important to include our units, which is dollars. The question is, what is the average cost per DVD when x equals 10 DVDs? And again, this is box 2. Right? And the average cost is given by a of x equals c of x over x. The next step is we want to plug in x equals 10 into our function. So we have the average cost of 10 DVDs is equal to the cost of producing 10 DVDs over 10. But wait a minute, the cost of producing 10 DVDs, I think we figured that out earlier. And we know the cost of producing 10 DVDs, I'll write it here on the side, is equal to 2,512.50. And we did that earlier, right, in part one. So now the average cost of producing 10 DVDs is equal to 2,512 with 50 cents. I'll write this here. Divided by 10 DVDs. So the average cost of 10 DVDs is $251 with 25 cents. Okay? Per DVD. So I have box number 3. And here, we're going to figure out what the average cost of 100 DVDs is. So the video is going to pause for a moment and go ahead and try this on your own. So the first step is to find the cost of production for 100 DVDs, which the formula, or excuse me, the function given to us earlier was the cost of DVDs is given by 2500 plus 1.25x. Now all we gotta do is we gotta plug in the value of 100 into our function. So the cost of 100 DVDs is equal to 2500 plus 1.25 times 100. Oops. All right. And remember to bring in your units. This is cost, so we need to bring in the dollar sign. So next, I want to find the average cost. And earlier we were given that the average cost of producing DVDs is equal to the cost of production over X, which is the number of DVDs. So let's let's plug in 100 into our function. So the average cost of 100 DVDs is equal to the cost of production of 100 DVDs divided by 100 DVDs. But again, earlier we found out that the total cost of production for 100 DVDs is $2,625. So we can just plug that in. So then the average cost of 100 DVDs is equal to 2,625 divided by 100 DVDs. So the average cost of 100 DVDs is 26.25, and I guess that's in dollars per DVD. To look at, this will be our extension. What is the average cost of producing X equals 0 DVDs? So what's the cost of production for 0 DVDs? I gave you here the cost of production function. And then another question is, what happens when we find the average cost? Kind of hard to read. What happens when we find the average cost given here by A of X when X equals 0? And I gave you the function again. Average cost is equal to the total cost of production over X. So think about that, and then we'll discuss it next time when we meet. Have a good day.